Hello there, this is the week 10 video. So this week we're going to start module 3. This is the final module for the course. And we're going to start off this module by looking at something that's called conditional probability. So conditional probability looks at the chances of something occurring given that something else has already occurred. So as an example, consider that I ask you, what is the probability that you carry an umbrella to work with you? And so most of you would probably say, well, it's not very high because most people don't carry an umbrella with them, all of the time. What if instead I had said, what is the probability you're going to carry an umbrella with you given that it's raining outside? Well, most likely that probability jumped to be much higher in this case because I've given you some additional information. I've told you it's raining outside, and when it rains outside, most people carry an umbrella. So the idea of conditional probability is that I'm going to give you some extra information, and we're going to see how that changes the probability of something occurring. And so you're going to work through a couple different worksheets today that work with that idea. Now, the reason that we talk about conditional probability is we're going to introduce 4 new vocabulary words this week. They are a false positive, false negative, sensitivity, and specificity. These four new vocabulary words are motivated by conditional probabilities. Now, each of you, since you're all nurses, have actually worked with false positive, false negatives, sensitivity, and specificity, and probably never even realized it. These 4 vocabulary words come into play when we work with what is called a dichotomous test. And so a dichotomous test is any test that has 2 different outcomes. Many diagnostic tests in the medical field are actually dichotomous tests. One that we're going to use as an example a lot to illustrate these different terms is a home pregnancy test. Now, a home pregnancy test will come back and either tell the woman that she is pregnant or not pregnant, but these are test results. And then in contrast to that is what's actually happening in the woman's body. Is she really pregnant or not pregnant? Now, we would hope that when a home pregnancy test positive or test pregnant, we would hope the woman's really pregnant. And when that home pregnancy test negative, we would hope that she's really not pregnant. But as you probably know, diagnostic tests can come back wrong. And so the 2 ways that diagnostic tests can come back wrong are what we call false positives and false negatives. And you've probably heard those 2 terms before. The 2 you probably haven't heard are what are called sensitivity and specificity. These are actually the 2 ways in which these diagnostic tests can be correct. So what we're going to focus on this week is looking at different types of dichotomous tests, and we're going to work on the language of describing sensitivity, specificity, false positives, and false negatives for these tests, as well as how to calculate them when we're given a table of information. So you're going to see lots of worksheets this week dealing with that. Then the very last thing you're going to do this week is we're going to talk about something that's called Bayes' rule. Bayes' rule is it's a theorem in probability that deals with conditional probabilities, and so you'll have one worksheet on that at the end of the week. What I'd like to do at this point is give you guys some opportunity for bonus points on exam 3. So this will be worth 4 bonus points total. What I would like you to do is after you get done with this week's work, I'd like you to email me and describe a dichotomous test that you use in your line of work. And so this can be, like I said, most of you probably work with some kind of diagnostic test, and so that's probably what you're going to tell me about. But what I would like you to do is, in words, I would like you to tell me what sensitivity is, specificity is, false positive, and false negative in terms of that test that you use in your everyday work. And so for each of those that you get correct, you'll get 1 bonus point on the 3rd exam. So as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Use the discussion board. That's what I'm here for, and I will talk to you later.